You guys already know what time it is. Porcus D. Edo here to bring you Vampire Diaries Season 6, Episode 10 review. So, Kai's still tripping. He might be one of the best villains we've had since Klaus. Definitely. I'm definitely thinking he's the best villain because he just doesn't care. That's something good to have in a villain. It just increases the stakes. It raises the stakes. He's psycho. Yeah, he's a great villain. So one of the first scenes we get is Damon and Elena looking for the Ascendant the Ascendant to bring Bonnie back. So and then Elena's looking at him, staring at him while they're searching, and she's thanking him for everything he's doing for Bonnie. And that was nice, but I can't help but believe that Damon is doing this for personal reasons as well. I think he's doing this to impress Elena, like she stated in the last episode. I just can't help but think that it's only for Bonnie, you know? And I think some of it, but I think it's 50-50. 50% of it's for Bonnie, 50% of it's for Elena. Another thing I want to talk about that I thought was interesting was Liv's perspective on the whole Kai situation. She doesn't think that she has to die just because Joe is weak and she can't, defeat Kai. She doesn't see why she has to die for the sake of her sister's weakness. And I mean that does sound selfish, but I can understand that. I think that's an interesting perspective to have. Why should I have to die just because of your conflict with Kai? That makes a lot of sense, even though it is selfish. Sorry, my throat is killing me. So back to Kai, because obviously he's like the star of this season. How many of you like Kai? I want to know in the comment section. How many of you like Kai and rank him with the other villains or antagonists that we've had in the whole series? I think I'll put him as second right now, behind Klaus, just because we had Klaus and way more character development with Klaus. He was a pivotal part in like a season and a half, probably even 2 seasons if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, 2 seasons if I'm not mistaken. So, but Kai he's really stepping his game up, and I think he's the second best villain we've had. So then we get a scene where Kai is trying to reunite Joe's magic by repeatedly stabbing her with a knife. I think that was a good scene, and the quote of the episode is when Kai says, and I quote, I wrote it down and everything. He points the blade at Liv's twin brother, and he says, "I was willing to kill you when your brain was the size of an acorn. You don't think I'll do it now?" When he said that, that's when I was like, yeah, that's a great quote, and he's crazy, and it makes me believe that he will kill. I really believe that he would. And obviously, in the beginning of the episode, he almost killed this random girl. And then after that, oh my goodness. Okay, here's where things just start getting odd. So we have Matt and Jeremy on some vampire hunter escapade, and they managed to take out Enzo. I've never understood that whole, vampire hunter human taking out vampires. I would believe it if it was fleshed out more, and we saw the vampire hunters training, and and they had more abilities, you know. But it's not believable to me because it wasn't fleshed out well, and we didn't get enough development to honestly believe that these vampire hunters can take out vampires. You know, they just, I mean, it's a crossbow with wood, you know. I'm not buying that. So I don't know how Enzo got taken out by them. That's just ridiculous. Especially Matt. I'll talk about Matt later. But, and then we get Caroline, and which is really sad part of the episode where we find out that her mom has glioblastoma. If you don't know, glioblastoma is basically a brain tumor that develops and arises from the supportive tissue in your brain. You can look it up if you want to know more about it. It's just, I don't know how she got it, but that sucks. Man. I feel bad for Caroline with that. And but I wanted to talk about Matt more because, okay, Matt has been one of my least favorite characters in the whole series, just because season 1 with his family and his mom and his sister, you know, he was okay. But then after that, I just feel like he was around to be around, you know, just one of those tag along characters. And he was just annoying me through all the way through season 6, which we are at now. And then, but finally, he was gonna do something interesting, and I thought his ideals were starting to get interesting. His beliefs and ideals were starting to, you know, make sense. Because vampires are dangerous. He said it to Jeremy. Vampires are dangerous. They're dangerous, and nobody's safe with vampires around. And that's interesting, because people will die. Who knows? Vampires might start, you know, snap one day. So it's us against them. It's basically where Matt was heading to. And I thought that was interesting. And it was a perfect opportunity. And he was going to start turning into the guy in the beginning of the season. I think his name's Trip, who was driving the vampires in the van and, you know, taking them past the magic border. Yeah. And he was doing that to Enzo. He was turning into Trip, and I thought, finally, you know, we get something interesting. We know his ideals. We know how he feels about vampires. And then Kai breaks his spell. Enzo doesn't die. Matt just turns into a loser again. I'm sorry, Matt. And now apparently he's gonna be Enzo's puppy dog, which sucks because it was a perfect opportunity for Matt to grow as a character and really get some development. And now he's just a lapdog for another vampire. But we'll see. We'll see what happens with that. And then we get before that though, we get a scene where Alaric has a chance to kill Kai. I'm sorry, but if I was Alaric, I would have killed Kai. I love Kai. He's the second best villain, the second best antagonist we've ever had. But he has to die, and Alaric should have killed Kai right then and there. So Damon would have killed him, but he couldn't pass the magic border. Kai has to die, and Alaric didn't kill him. And he believed that Joe could beat Kai. And then look what happened. How to get Alaric is... Oh my gosh. And just a question for you guys in the comment section. What do you think they should do? Do you think they should kill Kai and let the twins merge? Or do you think they should let Kai live, try and get Bonnie out, and let Kai merge with Joe? Yeah, I'm just wondering, what do you think is a better way to go? I think they should kill Kai and let the twins merge. I'm sorry. Kai is not worth all the lives that are in danger. And you see by the end of the episode, it starts getting real. And he's not worth all those lives. So I would have killed Kai. And again, are the people in this episode stupid? How do you leave Kai in handcuffs and chains and not look? They let them. It's like they tied him up to like a gravestone, a gravestone, and then they're not even watching him. This is the most dangerous man in the city, in the town, and you just not watch him and then tie him up with chains and that's it. I would have had people looking. Three guys, three bodyguards. I would compel three bodyguards to look, stand right around him. I don't cut his legs off. I don't. That's why. Why don't they cut his legs off? Break his arms. Do something. Oh my god. I think the show and the writers are doing a great job with Stefan and Caroline's relationship together. I think they didn't rush it. They're not rushing it at all. They're taking their time. They're fleshing out their development. They're building it up, and I think that's exactly how you do it. A lot of the relationships are rushed in this show, like Damon and Elena. I think it was a little bit rushed. It's not. It wasn't as good as this, even though Damon and Elena have worked out eventually. It's okay, but I think Stefan and Caroline, they're doing it perfectly, and they're not rushing it. They're planning things out and they're building it up. It's just perfect. It's perfect how they're planning that out. That's how you write. That's how you build up relationship tension, ladies and gentlemen. I'm gonna wrap this video up soon. Since I just want to talk about a little bit more points. Since Kai has all that magic now that he absorbed from the spell that the Travelers put down, does he still need to fuse with his sister? Did they have to? Tell me in the comment section. Do they have to fuse? I think they said they have to by some time. Yeah. If I'm not mistaken, I think they have to. But is there a way that Kai can figure out how to not risk that and to not have to fuse since he already has all this magic? Tell me what you guys think below, because I think they have to fuse, but it's probably going to figure out a way that you don't have to, especially since the twins. The show's probably going to write it in a way that they find out a way that they don't have to merge. You know what I'm saying? So I think there's a way that you can get around that. And if Kai figures that out and he has all this magic, I'm calling it now, guys. You heard it here, Porcasi Edo. Kai is going to find out a way to not have to merge with his sister, with Joe. I'm telling you. And now he captured Elena, and he's going to proceed to rape her in a dungeon or something. I don't know where they're taking that, but, Stefan and Damon are going to find out, and they're going to try and go save her, which I think that's, yeah, I think this episode was really good. It was entertaining from beginning to end. It kept my attention the whole way. Yeah, I think this episode did a great job. I'll give it an 8 out of 10 for this episode. So, Porcasi Edo here. This is my second video ever, so expect me to make another video talking about myself. And the next review I'm going to do is Legend of Korra. I think this is episode 9. Season 4, episode 9, I think. 9 or 10. Yeah, that's the next video I'm going to do, but peace out.